Don't be fooled. Jesus can be trusted with your issues. Let's think about some examples of how powerful and intelligent Jesus is from nature. I'm thinking of the tree called the Arcadia tree, which is all over the African savanna. They have a special defense system against animals that would eat their leaves. So, say an antelope is munching on one of their leaves, they put out this toxic substance called tannin. And not only that, but they produce a gas that warns other trees in the area to do the same thing. When you hear of an example in nature that is incredible, let it remind you of how incredible Jesus is and that he can be trusted by you. Welcome to Truth Talk with Ed Skipper, published every Monday and Thursday at 6 a.m. Pacific time, where I take the truth of Scripture and apply it to your daily living. Colossians chapter 1, verse 16. For by him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities. Rulers or authorities referring to rankings of angelic beings. Now, I want you to imagine this. You are at the ocean and you reach down and pull up a handful of sand. And now I want you to imagine that each grain of sand represents a star in the universe. That would be a lot of stars. Well, the truth is, the estimated number of stars in the universe is the same as the number of grains of sands in the entire earth. That's how great Jesus' creation is. See, I can't come up and imagine something like an animal or a plant or a planet or an angel and have it come into being, but that's what Jesus did. Therefore, you can entrust yourself to him and you can entrust your issues to him, and they will be in a safe place. I'm going to ask you the same question that I'm asking myself today. Are there any issues in your life right now that are difficult and big and overwhelming? And are you willing to believe that Jesus is big enough to give you what you need to handle that issue? I want to encourage you, when you see creation, whether it is something small and intricate and beautiful in that way or something massive and overwhelming, let it remind you of Jesus' intelligence and Jesus' power. One more example from nature, and that is a plant that lives in the desert in North America and South America, and it is called the Jericho rose, also known as has another name, and it's slipping my mind right now. What this does, this plant has this special ability to not be harmed by dehydration. So it can go months without moisture and it will look like a dead ball. But once it's exposed to moisture, it restores its color within hours, even if it's been in this dead ball state for many months. And not only that, but it has a special ability to not be harmed by the dehydration. And so I love stuff like this because it reminds me of how creative and powerful and intelligent and trustworthy Jesus is. And speaking of Jesus' trustworthiness, I want to make sure that you listen to another Truth Talk from Ed Skipper, Your Heart, Troubled or Trusting. It's episode 141, and I will include the link in the description. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And until next time, knowing that Jesus created all things, may you trust him and know that your issues and you yourself are safe in his hands.